My Nicki critique is when you come, be direct. When you come, be direct. Don't give us all these tweets like you about to smack the shit out of bitches, or like diss tracks is coming, or like you about to answer on your album, and then when your album come, it's just the hits and we rap.
Little subtle jabs.
Be direct. You know what? Where Cardi is winning at? Being direct.
That's a fact.
Hey.
It is getting crazy in these streets for Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Now, y'all saw I did the first video where they was going back and forth on Twitter, but last night it got too crazy for me. I'm going to let the professionals do a deep dive on the tweets and them talking about children and stuff like that. So here's what Joe Budden had to say about the first tweet off between Cardi and Nicki. Y'all better like the video. Y'all better subscribe. Let's get it.
You've been in the game like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those are the numbers you need to be competing with, and you can't because you're doing lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. WTF is you comparing yourself to me for? Now, I'm just going to give y'all the rest of this, and then we can talk about it. Nicki took it up a notch. She took it further. It no longer was about the music. She took it a little more personal, and she said, raw dog and pregnant with the fourth baby. Barney BPV. HPV.
All right, enough.
Enough. I don't like your Nicki Minaj voice at all.
No, she's putting a lot. No, these are her putting extra Y's at the end of words. This isn't an impersonation.
I just don't like.
But we don't like Mark Minaj. Mark Minaj voice is.
Okay, I apologize. Well, that's y'all read it with all the extra.
No,
letters.
try it again. Try it again with a different voice.
What we also saying is that this stuff is
it's too nasty to be.
It's really personal.
Yeah,
it's really nasty. It's really outside of music and anything that we cover as a podcast. I understand that it's hot and juicy. All of the girls are fighting. It will continue to get hot and juicy, hotter and juicier. Once y'all start talking about fertility doctors,
we gotta add
check
that.
me out.
For fairness to
check me out of this.
For fairness to Nicki, I won't read the last tweet, but Cardi did respond and accuse her of infertility and blaming different factors for infertility. I just want some people don't say I didn't read Cardi's last note.
The things that they are slinging about each other and to each other, I want no part of. Right. It takes away from my excitement even about them being adversaries.
Well, that's the thing. I love a good competition. I love a good beef. I hear
what you're saying. I can understand our stance on that as men, right? Just butting into women's arguments and conversations, but the mudslinging ain't no different from what Drake and Kendrick was doing.
It is different.
Not to me.
But
throwing around pedophilia and all that stuff.
But it is different if we are to believe that those brothers had a conversation at some point.
Okay.
I also think it's a little bit different when it's rapping.
Because but the contents of that conversation, right? Like some people say that they offered to fight. Some people say that. So when I'm listening to this Nicki Cardi shit, that's the difference between women mudslinging and men mudslinging. And men mudslinging, this is just going to get to a fight at some point. With women,
or a lawsuit.
Or that for the bitch niggas.
It's a lot.
Or that.
Here's our clip.
Wait, why? Who's on that? I don't know about. Whatever.
Nothing.
If somebody's not a bitch nigga.
I was asleep. I don't know.
I don't give a fuck.
There's more suits.
I don't give a fuck. What I'm saying is the girls, before they get to fisticuffs, are gonna get really personal first. Guys might not do that. We getting right to it's fight. When I see you, we gonna fight. That's it. Women, you had to go see doctor. You can't have a baby. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do a lot.
All right, you got it.
They subscribe.
That's
to
out
that.
of my ministry.
If you go low, I take it to hell.
Yeah. Well, it's too fire for you to really stand on one side of the fence, buddy. Guess what? Guess what's happening in March? Nicki's coming with heat.
Yeah.
Guess what's happening right now? That Cardi shit is heat.
Yeah. Both going to have a fire tour. Both going to go ahead and
you say a lot. You say a lot of things that if I'm a Barb, I don't want to hear none of that shit.
But you gotta hear it.
No, I don't.
you don't.
No, I don't.
You
Why
really
not?
do not have to
You
hear
You
that
never
shit.
toured.
You've done
You
nothing
going
to
on-
prove that you
Yeah,
could be in
stop-
this conversation.
Stop speaking about you like you in the same breath as me. You've never toured. You going out with 900 artists.
Okay.
You doing all types of bundle shit. I went domestic and international and sold out everywhere. I don't want to hear that hot shit you
Also,
want.
so you want me to pick a side at this point now? So I can't view Nick because we went to Nicki's show and Nicki's show is amazing, fire. I now can't go to a Cardi show whether she did a tour before and consider it a fire show if it's a fire show.
can.
I'm not allowed to say that.
That's a totally different conversation.
So that's all
That's
I'm
not what we're
saying.
saying.
That's all I'm
You
saying.
can go
Nigga, if Cardi show is fire, I'm gonna come in here and say, yo, that shit was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
That's not what we're saying.
That's not.
We're saying that you saying they're both going to go on tour and have a fire tour. We
Okay,
don't know
well,
that.
Until you see one of them do it,
I get that. I
we
understand.
can't keep saying that they both are the same.
And we've
And
seen
that's
one
really-
do everything.
That's not what I'm saying.
Nobody
though.
said they were the same, Joe.
If you say that we both gonna go on tour and put on a fire show, and one person has never went on tour and put on a fire show, then what are you saying?
We don't know that she's
You
going to put on
don't
a fire
know that.
show. We don't know.
That's based on nothing. You just being positive.
Okay.
Come on, nigga.
You can say, I hope she put on a fire show, but you don't. She
Okay,
hasn't.
all right,
She has no track record of putting on fire shows.
If we get into the semantics of what you guys are saying,
Yeah, you know what
fine.
they doing.
You
And
need to
on
be
top of that, she
semantic.
told her that you just said she
Yes,
sold
I'm
6 million
assuming-
to 10 million records.
Yes,
you just
I'm
said
assuming.
that, nigga. So she can
I'm assuming that she will, based
There
off
you
of the
go.
music that she has, based off of the relationship, based off of a crowd. A big part of what's going to make that tour fire is the crowd and how they come to show up for her. So yes, I'm assuming on the Cardi side. With
They're
Nicki,
talking about
we've
performance.
seen it.
They're talking about performance wise.
But at this,
Putting on the actual show.
cool. I'm
You
saying
know
to
what's
you,
gonna make them shows different too? You tricked me into having this talk now. Friend groups and features. And you was at the Nicki show with me. Mm-hmm. So when she wasn't out there and the DJ was out there, the same chick was out
fire,
there.
amazing.
They took you on a trip from when you was 18,
I see what he's saying. He doing.
13. You know who the hottest crews were last decade? She was affiliated with them. Yeah. I think Cardi's feature game is A1, but they're newer acts.
And not just that.
It's Rob 49. It's JT. It's Glorilla.
It's Kehlani.
It's Lotto.
Yeah, she got Bruno Mars features too. That are
Yeah, like,
out the,
yeah,
out the
all right.
park.
Not that ain't. I'm talking to hip hop. I'm talking about going to a hip hop show and somebody playing hip hop slaps for 3 hours.
You're absolutely. You are correct. There's nothing to say. There's not. The conversation.
That
for
Cardi
me
show
isn't-
should be.
The conversation isn't who's going to have a better show, because at this point, that's not my
Just
conversation.
put on a good show. Good shows.
A good show. To me, at this point, if Cardi can do that on top of already dropping a great album, there's no conversation that we need to have as far as comparing, but we can at least say she's doing her part.
I want a record with these two.
I would
That
love
part.
to. I would love for that. But
I don't want people to think I'm just up here perpetuating violence.
Right.
The end all to this is them holding the blue and red flag up in the air and doing records. Lotto came up on that fucking Every Time remix, and if Nicki comes on the third verse of that, that's fine. Motorsport, that shit is fire.
Motorsport is
Any
shit.
song that either one of them do, you can hear the other one come right behind them. Maybe not now, maybe in 5 years, if everybody's still here and alive.
We don't know. We get another fucking Thug and Lucci shit.
That's what I'm saying. Life is long. Shit changes.
A feature swap.
Yeah.
But that's down the line. But again, now, well, if they could come back from that, because I'm about to say his lines crossed.
My Nicki,
But you could still come back from
my
it.
Nicki critique is when you come, be direct. When you come, be direct. Don't give us all these tweets like you about to smack the shit out of bitches, or like diss tracks is coming, or like you about to answer on your album, and then when your album come, it's just the hits and we rapping.
Little subtle jabs.
Be direct. You know what? Where Cardi is winning at? Being direct.
That's a fact.
Hey,
She
Ice
wanted the
Spice.
directest to-
Fuck you, bitch.
Nicki.
Hey, you. I ain't thinking about you, bitch. Fuck you.
well, Nicki was
Cardi is
direct with her
saying-
Megan shit.
She was.
She was
She
very
direct with
direct.
Megan
So
shit.
I don't think that she's not direct.
there's been mixed reviews about that diss track version.
Well, because of the
Stop
change.
it. Stop. If you're being direct, part of being direct is how we receive.
Cardi wasn't very direct with the shots that we think were at Nicki on the album.
Yes,
So-
you what? I disagree with that. She didn't say her name. Yes, you're right.
So that's
I
not
totally
direct.
disagree. Some of y'all out there talking about some Akbar. The very next bar says, hey, every trip you take with your nigga, you paying for it. None of y'all have seen Akbar on a trip with her nigga. What are y'all talking about? What do you? I follow Akbar. I follow Nicki. I follow Cardi. Where are the trips that Akbar is on where the world is saying, "Hey, your nigga, baby"? Yo, don't beat me down with internet takes, yo. I know hip hop. Some of y'all don't. I know hip hop. I know what the fuck somebody's talking about.
Joe, she did a subliminal that's not direct.
No, because the internet
A
is telling
subliminal
me
is not
a
direct,
rapper.
Joe.
Hey, no, she's talking to Akbar.
Joe.
Hey, yo, don't waste my time.
A subliminal is not direct. So don't sit here and go ahead and say be direct.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't do that.
You're arguing
She's
two
talking to
different things.
Akbar. I know.
No.
I know she was. You got it.
He wild.
I hate the internet.
No, he's screaming be direct.
Right. No,
And you can't use an example as a subliminal.
Same thing though.
That's a subliminal.
Joe was saying he knows exactly who she was talking to. I think what y'all are saying, and
He
I agree.
knows.
Being vague
I'm
and
with
direct.
you. And what
Being
I'm
vague.
saying, and y'all are
Millions of
saying
people
is
know.
that's still not a direct hit the way
The Bia
Cardi on
diss
Bia was, where you literally say
Yeah.
diarrhea B. I mean, there's no confusion about that.
Yeah, but she
Yeah,
could
no.
also feel comfortable doing that because she might not think Bia is someone who can match up to her.
She can't.
Her level,
Yeah.
right? But you ain't gonna do that with Nicki because if you do that with Nicki, and you get that direct,
Why she not gonna do that with Nicki?
because Nicki is
Nicki
the
hasn't
top of
shown.
the top rappers
Nicki
at this
ain't
point.
shown nobody that her diss track is something to run away from. I'm
That
saying
Remy
that
Ma
as
shit that
the-
she did was it.
That's where they're getting that from. I'm not saying that about Nicki. I love Nicki. When the Remy track came out, you were there. You know what was said. The Meg track, like you know what's being said. Say what you want about Cardi. The diss hits.
It do.
When she diss, it hits. Hey, in Park's old crib, he used to have the dart shit in the kitchen. Sometimes we used to go up there. Just say,
Bullseye.
hey, sometimes because Parks would practice more, he go up there, bullseye, bong. Sometimes it hit the mark, nigga. Sometimes you go to shoot somebody, that's the person that died. That's the run that Cardi is on. I'm telling you something. That's the run she on. Any bitch I target with my crew, my team, not my writers. Them motherfuckers get hit. So
It's facts.
if Nicki is gonna do it, I'm just saying do it. If you're gonna do it, do it. End the bitch. End it. You dope enough and powerful enough to where if you don't want to hear from her no more, you could put another 8 years on top of the 7 she gonna put on herself, and we'll never hear from Cardi B again.
Nah, I don't think she could do that.
I wouldn't say that.
Shit.
So yeah, like I told y'all, this is getting out of my ministry. Okay. Once y'all get to talking about kids and children and families in the manner that Nicki and Cardi was talking about each other last night, I got to take myself out of it because I had a real talk with myself and I said, are you about to get on YouTube and start breaking this down when they talking about kids like this? And this is when I gotta leave it to, the females and, the girls, the gays. Y'all can do that. Y'all can make the money. Go get it. That's not for me. When they get back to the music and they tone it down a little bit, then I can get back to doing deep dives. Even yesterday when they was going back and forth, it was getting a little crazy for me. If y'all watch my video, you can tell at certain parts I got uncomfortable. And so, yeah, I'm not going to have a lot of that on my channel. But feel free to go to other channels and they can break down, everything about Cardi's kids and Nicki's kids and the stuff they was saying last night. Because it was crazy. At this point, I will say this. It does seem like somebody going to have to fight somebody. I know Cardi is pregnant. I saw talks about, Cardi's sister fighting Nicki. It do seem like once you cross that line, stuff gets serious. They was talking about pulling up. Now, when Imani was questioning Joe about, hey, you feel uncomfortable talking about this, but you didn't have any type of remorse when it came to discussing Kendrick and Drake. And I do think it was different because we were talking about music. They weren't sitting on Twitter trying to figure out who was going to have the best tweet about each other's families. You see, with female beef, they want to win in all of these different arenas. They want to win in the Twitter and social media arena. Then they want to win with the music. Then they want to win when I go to the Met Gala and I'm dressed better than this girl and I say something slick and my crew pull up on her and we throw a shoe. It's all of these other aspects that female fans and the fans of the female rap beef-ish, they get involved with. But for that Kendrick and Drake situation, it was just about the music. That's all we cared about. We didn't care about who was going to have the better tweet. That's the difference. Yes, was there mudslinging involved? Of course. But the music is protected because it's an art form. There's an art to a diss song. And that's what we was focused on. Not 20-minute tweet videos. So that's the difference. And also, I think when men are doing this gossip talk, I think it is good for some men. I know it's going to be plenty of men talking about the stuff that I don't want to talk about. But I do think at a certain point, men, when you're discussing women in entertainment, you should have a line you don't want to cross. I got my lines, other people got theirs, but you should have some line where it's like, okay, this is too far into the female talk, and as a man, I gotta bow out. And so Joe is setting his line, I'm setting mine. Now, when it comes to who has a better show, I'll have to give that to Nicki. I'm going to be very quick and short about that. I haven't ever been to a Nicki Minaj show, but I see the time and the work and the creative aspect of her venues. When I saw those images of everything she was doing with the Pink Friday tour, it looked expensive. It looked well thought out. I think Cardi's show is look, I'm not going to say it's cheap or anything like that. It just feels more grassroots. That's a good term, grassroots, where it's like we get on stage, we pop the music, I wear some nice outfits. Cool. Nicki is going back to the days of when my tour had a theme. I don't really see a big theme when it comes to a Cardi show. I could be wrong. I haven't paid too much attention, but I think it's usually like, okay, you know, the stage is nice. She might have some people up there with her. She's dressed nice. What's the theme? Remember with Kanye tours when he would have the glow in the dark tour and shit like that? Drake is still doing that, right? He'll have a whole theme for the tour and all of these different types of outfits that match that theme. That's what Nicki does. Beyonce does the same thing. Taylor Swift does the same thing. I think a Nicki show and a Cardi show, two different categories. I got to give it to Nicki in that aspect. Now, when it comes to dissing people and diss records, yeah, I would say right now, Cardi does have an advantage in that arena. But I do think it's about how you look at it. Because even Joe in the commentary, he had to kind of check himself about mentioning ghostwriters with Cardi. At one point, he was like, you know, Cardi and your team, because he got in trouble for saying ghostwriters when he was talking about the Am I the Drama album. But regardless, when Cardi shoots, it hits the mark. And she does deliver well when it comes to those type of bars. And yeah, it was a lot of mixed reviews on Bigfoot. Was it entertaining watching, you know, Nicki and Meg go back and forth? Sure. But at the same time, at least on the man side, we wasn't looking at Bigfoot like, oh my God, like Nicki just washed Meg. It was like, okay, it was cool. You know, for the girls, y'all was like, ooh, she said Kim Barbie was ugly. You know what I mean? Like, that stuff don't hit hard for men. Now I'm in the space, so I said, ooh, you know what I mean? So I know who Kim Barbie is. So I was like, ooh, that's kind of crazy. But for the, the mass audiences who not all up in the tea, it's some people who don't know about, all the crew members of Nicki and Cardi. It's some people who don't know who Ra Ali is. It's some people who don't know who Kim Barbie is. You know what I mean? And I think for the masses, they looked at it like, okay, it's cool. She trying to say Meg got a big foot. She, playing on the Tory stuff. Okay, that's cool. But, I don't think everybody said Bigfoot was this masterclass diss record. And at the time, we was worried about Nicki a little bit too. Don't act like in that back and forth she wasn't coming off a little under the influence. Okay? I just got to be real. So, it's a lot of aspects to this, but we'll see if we get some music with the current Nicki and Cardi beef. But yeah, when they was talking about the stuff they was talking about last night, Count Never Gave Up out. Let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.